Hello and welcome, Rangers. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And welcome to another episode of Shot for Shot Analysis. After Kim jumps out of the plane, she does a bit of a semicircle with her arms held up. And then we have Tommy who dashes past the camera, it seems. Probably some distance away from Kim. Otherwise, they'd have crashed into each other. We then have Adam who drifts towards the viewers, followed by Billy. The camera choosing to cut from Kim to Tommy is a fairly fluid decision, and one that makes sense because we are drifting from one co-leader of the Power Rangers to the other. And Kim and Tommy are inextricably bound to one another in a lot of ways. It's more than just a romance, it's also them being the co-leaders together, and to an extent, her being the main character of the first season, and to a large extent the second season, and the two of them kind of being, Tommy's kind of her love interest, her prize. But on the other hand, it's around this time that when the movie came out that Tommy began to drift into being his own character. A marked improvement in my opinion.
Indeed.
I loved him as in Green No More and in White Light. I still wanted him to have a bit more of an independent role from Kim at times. That's not to say that I don't want him to have any interactions with her. It's just the amount of focus that was given over to Kimberly, even when Tommy was supposed to be the focus, is a little irritating at times.
You don't want a character's entire arc to be focused on romance.
Yeah, and that's what Tommy's arc was for a long time. Kat later had this problem, even though Kat was a pretty good character in her own right. That said, after Tommy, we have Adam, the Black Ranger. This movement from the female Power Ranger kind of energy, because the Pink Rangers are always female, to white, which is to say the divine energy, to the male energy, because black is always male in Power Rangers. Almost symbolic commentary on moving from female to male there. On the other hand, we also have Tommy and Adam, who used to both be fairly shy characters as the Green and Black Rangers, respectively. Adam is still kind of shy at this point. Funny enough, he does have a bit of a friendship with Kim.
It seems like we're starting with some of the more shy characters.
To an extent, yeah, because Billy's way more confident at this point. But he's in the background behind Adam. So we're definitely seeing the four shyest of the team. Because I don't think anyone could describe Aisha or Rocky as shy.
Since we consider the sky as a symbol for freedom, whether personal, internal, they freed themselves from their inner conflict.
Yeah, if you consider the place where they're contained and whatnot, and it's gray and cold and fairly restrictive, and then they're out in the open air. Yeah, I think though that all the Rangers flowing past Tommy as he spins around in a circle with them basically revolving around him, a nod to the divine side of the White Ranger abilities as all the different traits of humanity circle around him. The only one you don't see in this shot is Rocky, but as everybody's enjoying themselves, this isn't exactly a moment of passion, as red is a color of passion, especially amongst Red Rangers. Although Rocky, I don't think is thinking too much of passion right now, unless it's passion for having fun. What's notable, we move from this kind of focus on Tommy for a brief moment to Kim, to then Billy, to Aisha. These three kind of often being paired together in quite a few of the season 2 episodes. Aisha kind of counterbalancing Kim at times, and Kim sometimes counterbalancing Aisha. But typically Aisha played a maternal role, but also the best friend role for Kim. But on the other hand, Kim often tried to be kind of the overly supportive bestie, which often blew up in her face, such as in the fire awareness episode when Aisha got drunk on power. Which I don't think I could imagine that happening to Trini.
No.
Aisha is a distinctly different personality.
Trini's humble. Aisha
has a bit of she can be a little full of herself at times.
Which makes her a fun character.
Although she does have an inherent core of modesty and humility herself, it's just she struggles with it a little more than Trini. As for Billy, he's often trying to be the kind of rock and mediating factor between some of the zanier ideas that Aisha might get and some of the others. Or he's ultimately him and Kim just seem like they're really good friends, and he tries to bolster her confidence in her brains, and she tries to bolster his confidence in just himself, really, like he's a kid brother. And Aisha treats him like a kid brother as well. So it's a pretty good trilateral set of relationships. We got Kim kind of with one or two Rangers circling around her, and then we end up moving back to Tommy and then to Billy, because the Kim, Tommy, and Billy set is a core set of Power Rangers, and they were often paired together throughout a good chunk of season 2, because they kind of form the counter to the Stone Canyon Trio, because the Stone Canyon Trio replaced Jason, Trini, and Zach, but in turn, for quite a few of those episodes, you had Tommy, Billy, and Kim, who were the only characters seen.
There's a reason why they probably bonded, and it's hard for them to separate.
I don't think that in the lore they should have ever kind of separated these three. But anyway, just in terms of the lore in comic books and whatnot. I know that there was the whole Zeo stuff, but even then, I don't think you could kind of separate these three. Tell us what you think in the comments section, and don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Tommy high kicking it. And remember, Rangers,
May the power protect you.